Peace. This is the enemy's public, and I am Bro.Nasir. About 8 months ago, I spoke to the people about Kim Potter and the grave, not mistake, the shooting that she did. I always maintained that it was done on purpose when she murdered our young brother, Daunte Wright. I always maintained that even pulling the taser was excessive force. She was pushing her weight around as an FTO. If two men cannot subdue or detain at least no more than 130-pound young man, they shouldn't be police officers. They had the situation under control. She busted through, pulling out her gun, and she shot and murdered the brother. She's not remorseful. If you look at her gestures, her demeanor, that's not a demeanor of someone who's remorseful. It's a demeanor of someone who don't give a damn. So what, I did it. And the courts found her guilty of both charges, manslaughter 1 and 2. And she should do every bit of time that constitutes someone who have committed manslaughter 1 and 2 to the fullest extent of the law. That's how she should be punished. And I'm glad that the judge decided to remand her to the county jail until she's sentenced, because the young brother's mother and girlfriend and the young brother's child have to be without him. The defense, there's nothing worse than a white supremacist defense attorney, because they make every damn excuse for a white supremacist when they commit a white supremacist act. The fact that she hasn't been convicted of a crime, means absolutely nothing. She just wasn't caught. She was caught this time, and she has to pay for what she's done. The fact that they said she's not a flight risk, and she's not going to do it anymore. Like she's some child who wrote graffiti on a wall in an elementary school. She murdered someone. So she should be punished like anyone else. Now, she's supposed to be an officer, a 26-year veteran, an FTO, field training officer, who were training a rookie cop, not necessarily a rookie cop to that department. And if I, as a gun owner, made a mistake and shot a friend of mine and he died, I would probably do 25 years. Plaxio, what's his brother named Burris, shot himself by mistake. He did time. Shot himself by mistake, and he did time. So a police officer who's a 26-year veteran, a field training officer who's trained in firearms, a firearms expert. So for the sake of argument, if it was a mistake, still have to be held accountable. Now, again, I stated this 8 months ago. A taser, they're bright in color, especially the ones they issue to police departments, because they issued them in bright colors, and they issued them a little more bulky than a service weapon, with lights and different type of mechanisms on a taser. And they are positioned, situated on your weak side in a draw position, a cross draw position. And if you're pulling your taser on the same side as your service weapon, you're pulling from the wrong area. If you're right-handed, you should be reaching across to your left to pull your taser. That's where it should be situated. She yelled taser, taser, taser because she wanted it to appear to be a mistake, because she knew she was on camera. Yet nobody's buying that. But a defense attorney is going to defend you whether you're absolutely wrong or not. It's his job to defend you. And it's really despicable how defense attorneys, especially white supremacist ones, would get up here and they would justify the murder of, to me, it's a child. Okay, you take 30 years off my life, I'm years older than that young man. Years older. So he shouldn't be in a grave because someone who's supposed to be an expert, someone who's supposed to serve and protect, supposed to. In my 50 plus years of life, I've never known police officers to be those people who serve and protect. They back each other and they cover for each other. They could legally lie to you, but if you lie to them, it's perjury. Everything backwards. Ignorance of the law is no excuse for a citizen, but it is for an officer. Everything is backwards. They come and they enforce feelings and they enforce policies. That's why they're called police. They enforce policies instead of enforce law. Now, they should be, if you're going to be a law enforcement officer, it should be called law enforcement all the way across the board instead of saying police, because police sounds too much like policy. And basically that's all they do, enforce policy and enforce feelings. And the feelings is based on someone else's emotions, how they're feeling at that particular time, because they'll come and tell you that the people call the cops on you. The people can be lying, which is 98% of the time. They're lying. Instead of asking them and get in detail what happened, instead of coming and getting both sides of the story, they'll come automatically seeing you as a suspect instead of getting both sides of the story. A lot of time I see auditors exercising their right to record in public accessible places, and police officers will get in their feelings and they expect people to just comply with their unlawful request. And a lot of times it's unlawful orders because they try to order you around instead of being cordial and respectful as the police creed is. Police officers are not supposed to curse at you. They're the professional. So they're not supposed to use profanity. They're supposed to come with manners. They're supposed to call you sir or ma'am because they are the public servant. Yet they come expecting you to obey them. It's all about them getting you to obey them. And that's not what policing is about. That's what it's been about, but that's not what they say it's about. They expect us to see them as these heroes, but they're not. Heroes are firemen. Those are heroes. EMTs, people who save lives, preserve lives. Police take a lot of lives unnecessarily because they're afraid. If you are afraid, you shouldn't be a police officer. If you put on a duty belt and as soon as you put it on, it inflates your chest, and when you take it off, it deflates your chest, and the only reason why most of them will approach anybody in the first place because they have a gun, the upper hand, and they can take someone's life. Other than that, they wouldn't approach nobody. Most of them are cowards, especially the white ones. Cowards. A lot of the brothers, they're from the streets, and they got heart regardless. But most of them white cops don't have no fortitude, and they won't approach anyone without a pistol. And they shouldn't be policing us. No. They should police people that they're familiar with so they can have a genuine concern about the people they're policing. Yet they send anybody in our communities to so-called exercise law and order. Yet they come in, they want to order you around, they want to make punks out of you so they can go back into their communities and say what a badass they are and how many niggas they beat. But our brothers and our sisters are getting hip to that, and we're not going for it anymore. We're not going for it. This is The Enemy's Public. I am Bro.Nasir. Like, share, subscribe. Leave a comment in the comment section. Peace.